Welcome back. 67 Mustang. This car was originally going to be road race and vintage series, which meant he needed to use a vintage transmission, such as this top loader from Ford, built from the 60s to the 70s. It was a great piece, solid, but had its limitations. One being, it's got linkages in here that run the clutch, that get in the way of long tube headers, can also get in the way of power steering, and there's no 5-speed, there's no 6-speed.
That's right.
It's missing something.
So we're going to do a serious upgrade today. This is the TKO 600, which means 600 foot-pound capable. But we've got more than just a transmission. We've got an entire kit here. This is all from Bruce at Modern Driveline, because we're running a high RPM motor, peak power at 7,100 RPM, so we need this thing to shift better. So he's upgraded for the 2-3 shift. We've also upgraded, these are your blocker rings. Now this surface right here, that's what's going to ride on the cone, on the next gear you're going to select. And when you engage this, the surfaces actually take the 2-speed, relative to each other and get them common. Now you can get your synchros to lock in and the next gear to lock in. Well, we've changed that by machining it and adding a carbon fiber ring that's going to, let us do a lot faster shifts at higher RPM.
Yep. Let's take him over to the pedal.
Okay, now we're going to switch from, all that linkage. We're going to go hydraulic. Now, hydraulic is great because it's got a great smooth actuating clutch feel. You don't have sloppy bushings and all the linkage or stiction in a cable shifter.
And you know what? It's a lot easier to rearrange a cable, or a hose than it is to figure out all the linkages it would take to do this.
Yeah, no, that's great. This kit comes from the clutch pedal. This is going to bolt to the firewall. So this is now your master cylinder for your hydraulics. Route your line over to a slave.
Slave cylinder moves an old style. Moves your throwout bearing. Very simple, very easy. This bolts onto the front here, which is nice. And because it's on external, it allows you to not only adjust, but service the slave cylinder if necessary.
Yeah, so we got a lot of goodies here, but I think it's time to start marrying them together, start putting them in the car, so ride along with us. This is our clutch going in, cleaning all off our surfaces. Now this is an outer limit design, so we've actually taken the friction material and bumped up the inside radius, because it's really about the center point of the friction material where you get your location of grab. Well, the farther out from center to the outside, the more torque, just like on a torque wrench, you're going to be applied from the engine down through the drive line. So it's going to improve how much basically clamp load or torque capability through the engine. Now this is kind of neat. This is the Marcel. So there's actually a spring surface between the two friction surfaces. So as you're applying your clamp load, it actually softens and improves the drivability so it's not so harsh and grabby.
It's pretty wild.
And these are Kevlar, sort of the pilot in there. These are Kevlar clutches. It's also going to improve some of the drivability as well. And now we've got our pilot in there. We can zip on our pressure plate, evenly distribute the bolts, slowly clamp that guy down. Let's get our pins aligned. Okay. There we go. We've got our shift fork already in there. This guy's going to slide in, and we can choose to put the trans on now or after the engine's in the car, but I don't know, we've got a lift and it's just as easy sometimes to just put them together, and that went pretty smooth. So let's get this bolted together, stick around when we come back, we're going to get it in the car.
Back on our 67 Mustang project, 500 horsepower Boss 331.
Yeah, Ford Racing crate motor, ready to go. But how are we going to get all that power down to the back? We're going to upgrade. Modern Driveline set us up with the TKO 600, a complete conversion kit with everything you need, SFI approved scatter shield, clutches, you name it, and all the conversion parts ready to bolt on. Now what I did on the inside here is I mounted the backing plate. I drilled 2 small holes through the firewall. It's got the linkage for the pedal, so I can mount the pedal, which is right down here. This is a nice upgrade unit. This is removable to let it get in the vehicle a lot easier than the welded stud that was on there. And now that that's mounted, Brian can hook up the master cylinder.
And here's your master that's going to go in. Your line will come in, it comes with your stainless braided line. They'll hook up really nice, snake down to the slave. and then this is where your reservoir will come up, so that'll be a piece of cake. Let me feed it in. I'll show you where this goes. 2 bolts, 2 studs, just need to put nuts on. There you go. Now while we're here, let me just recap a little bit. Now we've updated our steering box. We turned it into power from the original Ford, which is cool. We got our rag joint in, we got our new column. You can see we've got new lines, we got our power steering pump in. We've put our wiring kit in, we kind of got our box. So we're really mocking up a lot of things, including headers. And today, we've got some exhaust to go in, drive shaft.
Yep, ready to start sending some power down to the wheels. So now that I got the pedal just about ready to go in, the other thing I can do while I'm in here is get the shifter. Now the kit comes with everything from the boot, the arm, the actual shifter itself. Now what we've done is, normally it comes with a sort of a straight up and down, this guy would bolt right in through here, because that's where it wants to be in the car. Well, we kind of moved some stuff around. We got adjustable motor mounts from CJ Pony Parts. We lowered the engine a 1/2 inch, which is cool for a race car, get the CG down. We also moved it back about 2 inches, which is getting the weight towards the center of the car, let a lot of stuff fit better. So Bruce hooked us up from on a driveline with an offset shifter, so that's going to put it right back where we need, and everything seems to fit and work well.
This is a great kit.
Yeah.
So, all right, well, let's finish up what we got left, and we're on. That's good. If you come under here to the business end of the modern driveline kit, we're hooking up our slave cylinder, putting our stainless braided hose on. Now, you can imagine the original had a cable coming this direction. You see how it would hit the headers, you had a lot of heat issues. The other thing they've done is by putting it out here, it's adjustable. So if you need to adjust it later, you can. Very cool. Comes with your bell housing, nice scatter shield there. Comes with your tranny mount. It's also going to come with your speedo cable. That's cool. And your reverse light hooks in, so all you have to do is put it into your wiring harness. Bam, got reverse lights too.
Pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
Making progress. And don't forget the most important part, connecting that to that. So we got our drive shaft. Don't forget, put a little lube on the end there so you don't burn up your seal. And this guy can go in and mount.
And we got to take a break. Hold on.